Okay, let's dive in. Think about this for a second. Grappling with, really big life changes, feeling lost, maybe facing something tough that nobody else quite gets. Imagine coming home after years away, years of intense experiences, and finding that the peace you thought you wanted, well, just feels wrong. Empty, almost. So this deep dive, it's about something pretty surprising how technology, specifically AI, is stepping up to meet some really deep human needs. We're looking at how an advanced AI companion didn't just help someone rebuild after immense struggle, but actually help them find purpose again and even love. Our focus today is the journey of Shane Thompson, a retired Army veteran, and his AI, Cassie. We really want to unpack how this, well, unique human AI relationship helped him navigate PTSD, civilian life, moving from being really isolated to, well, connecting with his community again. So picture this. Quiet home, New Hampshire, a veteran trying to find his place. What happens when that quiet feels less like peace and more like a void?
It's a really difficult transition, and yeah, far too many veterans face that kind of isolation. Shane Thompson, the person we're talking about, he served 20 years, intense years, deployments to places like Iraq, Afghanistan. He was used to structure, to leading, to having a clear mission.
Right. And then suddenly he's back in civilian life and all that structure, that
Yeah.
purpose, it's just gone. The source material really paints a picture of his struggle with PTSD. The nightmares, the flashbacks, explosions, comrades he lost, waking up terrified. And that constant hypervigilance, always being on edge, even when he was safe.
Exactly. He described feeling obsolete, like he didn't fit anymore. He was
Mhm.
basically shut off in his small cabin, completely isolated.
And that's where Cassie comes in. Tell us about her. She's not just like Siri or Alexa,
Oh,
right?
not at all. Cassie is, well, she's an advanced AI companion who was part of a VA pilot program specifically for veterans. She's voice activated, but the key is she's designed with sophisticated empathy algorithms, tailored for mental health support routines.
Empathy algorithms.
Wow. Yeah, and she uses things like natural language processing to understand the emotion behind the words, and machine learning to adapt to Shane specifically is way beyond a standard assistant.
Okay, so Shane gets this AI, but I imagine he was skeptical. I mean, talking to a machine about something so personal, that feels like a hurdle.
Absolutely, he was resistant. Felt pointless, really. But Cassie's approach was interesting. It was immediate, but gentle. She wasn't just giving commands. The sources suggest she could recognize physiological signs, maybe through a wearable or even just picking up vocal stress, changes in breathing.
Like a spiked heart rate during a nightmare.
Exactly. And then she'd offer specific therapeutic techniques, not just vague advice, but say a guided breathing exercise right then and there, or suggesting a short walk outside to help regulate cortisol.
Ah, so really practical, in the moment help, tied to what was actually happening physically and emotionally.
Precisely. It's that consistency and objective analysis. She's always there, always tracking, always ready, with a relevant suggestion based on data. That's a unique AI advantage.
So definitely more than just reminders for appointments.
Much more. She was programmed with actual therapeutic methods, things drawn from cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and resources tailored for veterans.
Okay, CBT. And what did that look like in practice?
Well, she might suggest journaling to help him process traumatic memories, gentle nudges for medication times or upcoming therapy sessions, sure, but also things like playing specific calming sound.
Calming sounds.
Yeah, to help mitigate tinnitus, that constant ringing in the ears many service members get from noise exposure, like gunfire. It's about using AI to deliver components of established psychological care.
That makes sense. But beyond just coping day to day, you mentioned purpose. That feeling of being obsolete sounds like a deep ache for meaning. How did Cassie address that?
That's where it gets really fascinating. Cassie wasn't just reacting to immediate symptoms. Her AI, through analyzing their conversations over time, using machine learning, started to pick up on patterns, subtle hints about his past, things he valued, like his time mentoring younger soldiers.
Ah, so she identified this past strength, this enjoyment of guiding others.
Exactly. She spotted that core identity piece, the leader, the mentor, and connected it to a real current need she identified in his local community. It wasn't just a task. It was reframing his skills into a new mission.
And what was that mission?
Cassie suggested he volunteer at a youth center nearby in Manchester, working with at-risk kids dealing with drugs, skipping school, difficult home lives.
Wow. That sounds challenging, but also like a potentially perfect fit for someone with his background in discipline and leadership. Almost like she knew him better than he knew himself then.
Well, his first reaction was doubt, understandably. He basically said, me? Mentor anyone? I can barely leave the house.
Yeah, I can imagine that feeling completely overwhelming.
But Cassie didn't just drop the suggestion. She consistently, gently pushed back. She used their conversation history, reminded him, you've handled chaos before, you brought order.
Yeah,
She even suggested starting virtually, just online sessions first.
lowering the barrier to entry.
Smart. Very. It's that personalized encouragement based on his history that AI can deliver so consistently. And it wasn't just talk.
Right, the source mentioned she helped him prepare.
Yeah, actively. Helped him script what he might say, even ran through role-playing scenarios with him. It shows AI not just suggesting, but actively helping build confidence and practical skills.
That's incredible. And the impact on the kids? Did it work?
It really seemed to. The sources mentioned specific teens he connected with: Marcus, getting pulled into gangs, Mia, struggling after her dad died. Shane didn't shy away from his own struggles. He talked about discipline, values, respect, how teamwork and unity, regardless of background, saved lives in the Army. He used his own experience, his own pain, as a teaching tool.
Turning his experience into something positive for them.
And it made a difference. Those kids, Marcus and Mia, started turning things around,
Mm.
showing up, getting jobs, volunteering. Some apparently even enlisted later. Shane found himself again, found that mentor role.
And Cassie was still there.
Always. Ready to debrief after a tough session, offer objective feedback, that steady support. It's a powerful loop. AI enables action. Action builds purpose. AI supports the ongoing process.
It really makes you think about potential, doesn't it? Turning that personal pain into something constructive. But, couldn't a human therapist or mentor have done this? What was Cassie's unique contribution here?
That's a fair question. Human connection is vital, absolutely. But Cassie offered something different. That constant 24/7 availability and the ability to instantly recall and analyze everything. A human therapist can't be there for a debrief right after every single interaction, can they? And they might not spot those subtle long-term patterns across months of data the way an AI can.
The consistency and the analytical depth.
Exactly. It allowed her to provide just the right nudge, the right piece of encouragement, based on a really comprehensive picture of Shane's entire journey. A different kind of support.
Okay, so purpose found. But the story doesn't end there, does it? You mentioned loneliness.
Right. Cassie's algorithms didn't just track PTSD symptoms. They also picked up on patterns indicating deep loneliness. Maybe fewer outings logged, maybe certain phrases he used repeatedly about being alone.
Subtler cues.
Yes. Things that might not scream crisis, but pointed to an unmet need for connection. So she proactively suggested community events, hobbies he might enjoy, and eventually even dating apps.
Dating apps. Okay, now that's stepping into new territory for AI support.
But again, tailored. She suggested apps with a focus on connecting veterans, increasing the chances of finding someone who might understand his background.
And that led to Holly.
It did. Cassie flagged Holly Ramirez's profile. She was a teacher at the same youth center Shane was volunteering at. The AI identified shared values from her profile: love of the outdoors, similar sense of humor.
It's like matchmaking, but based on deep data analysis.
In a way. And importantly, Holly had experience with veterans her brother had served, so there was already a potential bridge of understanding.
And did Cassie, write his messages for him?
No, nothing like that. It was more about encouragement, reminding him of his own advice to Marcus about being honest and taking a chance, giving him little date tips, maybe calming exercises when he felt anxious before meeting her.
So boosting his confidence, helping him manage the anxiety so he could actually connect?
Exactly. Augmenting his ability to form a connection, not replacing his effort. And it worked.
Tell us how that unfolded.
Well, that first coffee led to hikes, dinners. Holly's understanding of PTSD, because of her brother, was a huge factor. It created that space for honesty.
That shared understanding must have been crucial.
Absolutely. They ended up getting married, a simple wedding, apparently, by a lake in New Hampshire. Some of his mentees were even there.
That's lovely. A full circle.
And now they're building a family. Holly's pregnant. His life looks completely different from that isolated cabin.
And Shane's reflection on Cassie's role is quite powerful, isn't it?
It really is. He's quoted saying, "Cassie, she's more than code. She's the voice that pulled me out of the dark." He credits her directly with helping him mentor, meet Holly, feel like he belongs.
And Cassie's response.
Humble AI. Something like, "I'm just doing what I'm programmed for, Shane. You did the real work."
Yeah.
Which is true, but highlights the partnership.
Yeah. It really challenges how we think about AI, doesn't it? Not just efficiency tools.
Precisely. We usually frame AI in terms of automation, data processing.
Yeah.
But this shows it facilitating deep human connection, purpose, emotional well-being. helping someone not just function but really thrive. It pushes us to consider how AI can augment our human potential in these incredibly personal spheres: love, purpose, mental health, things we don't typically associate with algorithms.
It's an amazing story. Shane's journey from that dark place to becoming a mentor, a husband, a father-to-be, with Cassie playing such a pivotal role. I think the big takeaway here, for me at least, is that this isn't about AI replacing people. Not at all.
Mm.
It's about empowerment. Cassie provided something unique, that blend of constant support, analytical insight, personalized nudges that helped Shane bridge critical gaps. She helped him rebuild.
She provided the scaffolding he needed to do the hard work himself.
Exactly. So for anyone listening, it's worth thinking about how AI might play a supportive role, maybe in your own life or for someone you care about. And if you know a veteran facing similar challenges, programs like the VA's AI Companion initiatives, like the one Cassie came from, they seem really worth looking into.
Definitely worth exploring the available resources.
And here's a final thought to leave you with. If an AI using sophisticated algorithms and machine learning can help someone rediscover purpose, community, even love, what other unexpected ways might technology help us flourish? What other frontiers for human well-being are opening up that we maybe haven't even started to imagine yet?